Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel, MooTechie. It's so wonderful to have you with us today as we dive into one of the most fundamental and fascinating topics in all of biology, biomolecules, where we'll cover their structure, classification, and functions. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe to MooTechie for more. What are biomolecules? They are organic compounds produced by living organisms that are essential for life processes. They are composed primarily of the elements carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. They serve as the building blocks of cells and fuel for metabolic activities. And they're divided into four major classes based on their structure and function. Here's a quick preview. We have carbohydrates, which are the primary energy source. We have proteins, which are the building blocks and enzymes. We have lipids for storage and membranes. And we have nucleic acids, which hold the genetic information. Next, let's look at a helpful comparison between micromolecules and macromolecules. On one side, we have micromolecules. These are small in size with low molecular weight. They have a simple structure, as they are the monomers, and they often act as a quick energy source. Examples include amino acids, glucose, and nucleotides. These micromolecules build up to form the other category. On the other side, we have macromolecules. These are large in size with high molecular weight. They have a complex structure as they are polymers, and they serve major structure and storage roles. Examples include proteins, starch, and DNA. As we continue, let's get a structured overview of the four main classes in our classification overview. First, carbohydrates. They are the energy source. Their elements are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Their basic unit is monosaccharides, and they are joined by chemical bonds called glycosidic linkages. Think of sugars and starch. Next, proteins. They are the building blocks and enzymes. Their elements are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes sulfur. Their unit is amino acids, held together by peptide bonds. They form things like enzymes and muscles. Then, lipids. They are for storage and form membranes. Their elements are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Their units are fatty acids, which form bonds called ester linkages. These are your fats and oils. And finally, nucleic acids. They carry the genetic info. Their elements are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Their unit is nucleotides, joined by phosphodiester bonds. These are, of course, DNA and RNA. Now let's explore each class in more detail, starting with molecule class 01, carbohydrates, the primary source of energy. Their monomers are called monosaccharides, for example, glucose and fructose. They are joined together by chemical bonds called glycosidic linkages. Their primary functions are energy storage, like starch and glycogen, and providing structure, like cellulose. Their composition is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, typically in a 1:2:1 ratio. The slide shows a diagram of a monosaccharide, like glucose, with its chemical formula C6H12O6 and how many link together with 1,2 glycosidic bonds to form a polysaccharide like starch. Coming up, we have molecule class 02, proteins, known for their structure and functional diversity. Their monomers are amino acids, and there are 20 different types. They are joined by chemical bonds called peptide bonds. They have complex structural levels. It starts with the primary sequence, which folds into secondary structures, then into a three-dimensional shape, and sometimes multiple chains form a complex. Their key functions are vast. They act as enzymes, handle transport, provide immune defense, and create structure. The slide shows the general structure of an amino acid with an amine group, a carboxyl group, and a variable side chain. It also illustrates a secondary structure called an alpha helix, which is stabilized by hydrogen bonds. Let us now look at molecule class 03. Lipids, which include fats, oils, and waxes, and are crucial for membranes. The main types are triglycerides, phospholipids, steroids, and waxes. A key characteristic is that they are hydrophobic, meaning they don't mix with water. Or they're amphipathic, having both water-loving and water-fearing parts. Their primary functions include long-term energy storage, insulation, and forming cell membranes. The slide shows the structure of a triglyceride with 3 fatty acids attached. It also depicts a phospholipid bilayer, which forms the cell membrane, showing how the phospholipids arrange themselves with their heads facing the water, both inside and outside the cell. Following this, we have molecule class 04 nucleic acids, the true blueprint of life and heredity. Their monomers are nucleotides. Each nucleotide is made of a phosphate, a sugar, and a nitrogenous base. There are 2 structure types, DNA, which is a double helix, and RNA, which is typically a single strand. The nitrogenous bases are adenine, thymine, which is replaced by uracil in RNA, guanine, and cytosine. Their primary roles are the storage of genetic information in DNA and directing protein synthesis through RNA. The slide breaks down the 3 components of a nucleotide and shows the famous DNA double helix structure with base pairs connecting the 2 strands. So why do we need them? Let's look at biological functions at a glance. First, for energy and storage. They provide immediate fuel for cellular work and long-term reserves for later use. Examples include glucose for immediate energy, starch for plant storage, and triglycerides for long-term storage in animals. Second, for structure and transport. They build cellular frameworks, tissues, and transport vital molecules. Examples are cellulose in plant cell walls, collagen in our skin and tendons, and hemoglobin, which transports oxygen in our blood. And third, for catalysis and regulation. They accelerate metabolic reactions and regulate processes via signaling. Key examples are enzymes that speed up reactions, hormones that act as chemical messengers, and receptors that receive signals. And fourth, for information and heredity. They encode genetic instructions for development and pass traits to the next generation. This is a role of DNA, mRNA, which carries the instructions, and tRNA, which helps build proteins. Now, let's connect this to the real world with some applications. For carbohydrates, think of sports nutrition. Glucose gels and electrolyte drinks are used by endurance athletes to quickly replenish their glycogen stores. For proteins, consider biodetergents. These contain enzymes like proteases and lipases that naturally break down tough protein and fat stains on clothes. For lipids, in medical care, steroid medicines are used to reduce inflammation, and monitoring cholesterol levels is crucial for preventing heart disease. And for nucleic acids, DNA profiling is a powerful tool. It's used in forensics to identify suspects and in ancestry testing kits to trace family lineage. And finally, for our key takeaways, let's do a quick recap. Remember, life depends on the big 4 main classes of organic compounds: carbs, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids like DNA. We saw how life builds from micro to macro, where small monomers link together via dehydration synthesis to form large, complex polymers. And we learned about their core functions. They power us with energy, build our structure, run reactions as catalysts, and define who we are through genetic information. Thanks for watching. This is MooTechie, helping you master biology 1 molecule at a time. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. See you in the next class.